Welcome everybody to another show here at Virtual Hearing Aid Center. My name is Christopher Medina. I am your hearing care professional. And today I have a special guest coming in for the second time, Doctor of Audiology, Gary Dorf. He is the Oticon rep. And today we're gonna also be reviewing the Oticon More. Thank you guys for joining us again. My name is Christopher Medina. I am your hearing care professional. Just want to let you guys know if you can please like, share, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and I appreciate all your support. Before we begin, I want to thank you, Gary, so much for joining us. Again, this is Dr. Gary Dorf of Audiology. He is the Oticon rep, and we're both going to be discussing the Oticon More, right, Gary?
Well, I really appreciate you inviting me in. This is exciting. First time I'm kind of been doing this, so I'm excited to see how this plays out.
Okay.
Thanks
Perfect.
for inviting me, Chris.
Perfect. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for coming. So before we get into the whole interview, let's and all the fun stuff, let's take a look and get a quick reveal of the Oticon More. So I'm just going to show you guys a quick reveal of what comes in the box. Let's open it up. You got your manuals, few accessories, you got your carrying case, and of course, your charger and instruments. Okay, so Gary, when did this product come out and how did Oticon come up with this and how is it unique?
Well, Chris, let me start by giving you a little bit more background. I have been an audiologist for over 40 years now, and I've seen a lot of technology come and go and a lot of good hearing aids. But I believe this product, the Oticon More, is really transcending the industry to a great extent with some really interesting technology.
Okay.
So it's important to understand and have your listeners understand the concepts of how we design hearing aids. We coined a phrase brain hearing many years ago. And it's important to understand that concept. And the concept is that your ears are the conduit. Your brain is what actually is able to understand speech, understand who's talking to you, understand what direction somebody's talking to you. So when we design hearing aid technology, it's really all about the brain, because
Yes.
the brain is what ultimately hears and decides what they want to listen to. So with Oticon More, we've taken this step even further. We now have technology that works the way the brain does, and that's through experience. One thing that your audience might be interested in is when you're a child, okay, you learn speech and language by experience and exposure. Your mom didn't come up to you and say, Chris, your sentence structure is terrible at 2 months old, correct?
Yeah.
Unless you were a savant, you learn speech and language totally on your own because that's how the brain works. We've trained this hearing aid to understand the unique differences between speech and noise, so we're able to allow the patient to have a much better availability of information and sound information to make sense of the scenario.
Okay. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's very true. We do listen with our brain because when we're watching a movie, we kind of like mute out everything else, right? Even though we can hear it, but we're kind of more focused on what the brain wants to hear and listen to.
And
right?
that's really important to understand because the brain is absolutely the best speech processor available.
Yeah.
The brain could shut out background noises, okay?
Yeah.
But when you're hearing impaired, that task becomes very difficult. And so the majority of people that do have problems with their hearing is they have problems in speech and noise. So when you go to a restaurant, do you really hear what the waiter or waitress is telling you the specials are? Mm-hmm. Because the background noise can be a real distraction for people with hearing loss. And I would imagine that a good portion of your audience, that's where they struggle most. And those are in very difficult listening environments. So what we've done with the Oticon More is put a process on board that allows those environments to be a lot more manageable simply by the way we have processed the information in the hearing aid itself. So ultimately, the windup is the patient understands more, they have better ability to manage all the environmental noise around them, and they hear a sound quality that they've not heard before in a hearing aid. So what Oticon did with this product is really advance the technology to allow patients to have a much, much better experience when they're in simple environments, but especially when they're in difficult environments.
All right, and Gary, I wanted to ask you, so how does the hearing aid analyze speech in noisy situations? Because I see most patients, that's where they struggle the most.
Correct. And that is prominent when we design hearing aid technology. So there's technology available now that most people don't even realize they're using on a daily basis. We've embedded what we refer to as a deep neural network on the hearing aid. And other technologies use deep neural networks, but we are the first company to use it in a hearing aid. So let me give you an example of where a deep neural network might be utilized, and I think it could be relatable to all your accounts and patients out there. Everybody's watching Netflix now, right? We're watching Netflix?
Oh, yeah.
We're all watching Netflix.
Definitely Netflix.
So when you turn on Netflix or your audience turns on Netflix, there's going to be something there that says titles Chris might enjoy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's like based on what I like to watch. And
exactly.
Show stuff.
So what Netflix is using is a deep neural network to learn what you like to watch. So if you like nothing but horror flicks, they're going to show you horror flick after horror flick after. If you like a rom-com every now and then, they might throw in a rom-com because you watch it. So the deep neural network of Netflix is learning what you enjoy watching.
Yeah.
And they build that, what you like, based upon the experience of what you like. What we have done in the hearing aid is we fed the hearing aid a lot of information, a lot of different scenarios.
Yeah.
And now what we've taught the chip to do is to analyze speech versus noise. And we've taught it enough and given it enough information and experience that now when your patient walks down the street, the hearing aid changes 500 times per second and analyzes the environment and decides, well, that's speech, so let's make sure the patient hears it, and that's noise, we want to put that in the background. Yeah. So by training this network on 12 million sound samples, we now have covered pretty much any environment that your patient will get into. We're going to highlight speech information, we're going to reduce noise, and at the same time manage the environment around them. That is what is unique in this product, and that is what's going to drive this product to do things that our other products have not been able to do.
Okay, wow, very amazing. My patients have been spending a lot of time watching TV, listening to music on their devices, and struggling on phone calls. So how can the More product help them in those situations?
That's a great question. I appreciate you asking that. So during the last year and a half now, a lot of people have struggled a lot. Communication has been more important than ever. You know, mask wearing can diminish some people's understanding of speech. So what we have in the hearing aid is a device that's able to connect to all of these devices. So the hearing aid via Bluetooth and other technologies, we can now stream directly to the hearing aid. So you know, where you have an iPhone or an Android phone now, that phone conversation could go right into the hearing aids. It bypasses the visual concerns. So it's important to understand that via the use of hearing aids, we can now attach to that device. TV. I'm wearing hearing aids, and I know sometimes it's very difficult to understand the TV. I have a box that's attached to my TV. The signal goes directly to my hearing aids. I could actually mute the TV, so my family members might not want to watch what I'm watching, and it goes directly into my hearing aids, and I could control my own volume control. I don't have to worry about a remote control. Awesome. You could stream music, you could stream audiobooks. Anything that you would stream normally, you're able to stream directly to a hearing aid. And that is a huge benefit because hearing loss doesn't only affect one-to-one communication, it affects communication to those devices as well. And as much as our population now lives and breathes with these devices, it's even more crucial that we have a really, really clean signal that goes to the hearing aids direct. and the More product does it better than we've done it in the past.
Definitely, yeah. A lot of patients definitely benefit with the Bluetooth, you know, having the phone call come in, especially going to both sides. So with that, can we talk a little bit about how long the hearing aid holds a charge?
So the hearing aid does come in a rechargeability, which is a
Okay.
great advantage also.
Yeah.
So no longer needing to worry about changing batteries on the fly.
Or buying some,
Or
right?
buying batteries. So there's a cost savings from that as well. So what you've shown here is our hearing aid sitting in a charger. So
Yes.
at night, you take your hearing aid off, just pop it in the charger as you see it here. It will charge over 3 hours. You'll have a full charge the next day. The next day, you will have a battery life of a minimum of 16 hours up to 24 hours. So you can get a whole day's battery supply on just a 3-hour charge. And that is pretty amazing because you don't have to worry about reaching for batteries or anything else.
Yeah.
The other simplicity of the charger is when you put the hearing aids in the charger at night, it shuts the hearing aids off. And all you have to do is pick the hearing aid out of the charger, put it on your ear, the hearing aid turns on automatically.
Okay.
So patients have to understand the simplicity of what this offers and the convenience of what this offers. Because a lot of people fumble with batteries, you know, tactily might be problems holding small batteries. With this, they don't have to do that any longer. So that is a real plus for your patients as well.
Okay, perfect. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so just a quick overview. We have gone through the Oticon More product. This product comes in 3 tiers. Of course, your hearing care professional will help you decide what is best for you. Again, this is a rechargeable hearing instrument and is compatible with Android and iPhone devices for Bluetooth connectivity. And in my opinion, this is it comes in one of the most comfortable styles, which is the receiver in the canal. And those of you who continue to struggle in noisy situations, whether you're wearing hearing aids or just struggling in noise, you owe it to yourself and your family to just come on in and give these a try. Come listen to them. I'm sure you'll be wowed. So Gary, is there anything else you'd like to add to that? Thank you so much again for coming.
That's all right, man. I really appreciate the opportunity. This is a lot of fun, and I appreciate you having me here. And again, I think the services you provide and the ability to make sure patients are fitted appropriately is outstanding. So I encourage all the people listening to give Chris a call and give a listen to the Oticon More. I think you'll be pleased and really surprised at how much information and how much better you're able to hear with this product. So thanks again, Chris. I appreciate the time.
No, thank you. Thank you so much, Gary. So if you guys have any questions, comments, please post down below. Either I'll answer it. If I can't answer it, I'll reach out to Gary. He's way smarter than me. And good looking too, man. But yeah, like, share, and subscribe to the video. I really appreciate the support. And we'll catch you on the next one. Excellent. Very good.